This is a demonstration of the Stop at Crosswalk homework assignment. So let's go ahead and see it running first, and then we'll walk through some of the pieces. So the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is launch the Crosswalk environment for SimpleSim. So make sure you know how to get this. It's available on the LTU ROS page. So watch the SimpleSim video in order to learn about how to install SimpleSim in the environments. So we'll go ahead and launch the SimpleSim environment for the Crosswalk. That will pull up this environment that we see right here. And then I'll go ahead and launch the homework assignment, which is the Stop at Crosswalk ROS package. So I'll go ahead and launch that. And it'll pull up this window. I'm just going to go ahead and minimize that for now. And it starts running a node. We don't see anything happening yet, but it does also create this option here called Stop at Crosswalk. And if you don't see this, click on refresh, and that will help it pop up. So it creates this option. We'll click on that Stop at Crosswalk, and there is this option to enable. So once we click enable, we'll see the vehicle drive forward, and it'll stop once it gets near the crosswalk. And we can actually look and see what the camera is looking at here. It sees the crosswalk in the camera view and can stop at it. And so if I disable the drive and pull the vehicle back and maybe even tweak him a little bit, so he's turned a slightly different direction, then we enable it again, we'll see him drive forward, and once he sees the crosswalk, he'll stop before he goes on to there. So let's go ahead and disable that again. So that is the end result of the Stop at Crosswalk assignment, is use the camera that is coming from the simulator to stop once you see the crosswalk. And so we're going to go ahead and kill both of these nodes here. And we'll take a quick look at the starter code that is provided. So this is the starter code package. It has a couple of things. It has a launch folder with no launch file, so you'll need to write the Stop at Crosswalk launch file. It also has a source folder, and this one is partially filled out, similar to previous assignments. There's already a class here which has some code, and there's some notes here to write and fill in some things. And so this is actually very, very similar to the previous assignment where we have a image subscriber. And so part of the assignment here is to write the code to read the image using CVBridge. So this should be done in a very similar way to the previous assignment, where you'll read it in as a CV mat and do some processing on it to determine if there's a crosswalk. And then you'll be able to tell the vehicle to either stop or go if it sees a crosswalk. And there is some additional code in the constructor that will need to be filled in, so you'll need to write the image subscriber as well as your publisher. Again, this should be very similar to the previous assignment, just like the one we had before. And so one important hint for this assignment is if I go ahead and launch the crosswalk, and we'll go ahead and launch the launch file again, we'll see that this assignment is actually very, very similar to a previous assignment if we're detecting white pixels on an image. And so as I go ahead and enable the drive, we'll see I have a threshold just like before, and this one is actually detecting the white squares that are in front of us. And in fact, we can see here that it's sort of just counting how many white squares it sees, and if it sees enough of them, it's able to stop the vehicle. So that might be a good approach to solve this problem, though you're welcome to take any approach you'd like. The goal is the same, just to stop the vehicle before it crosses the crosswalk, and it should be able to do that multiple times. You should be able to stop the vehicle and pull it back and start it again, and it should be able to do that as well. So that's a quick summary of the Stop at Crosswalk assignment.